See my boy?
No, I haven't seen him, sir.
Peace and love, good people. Thank you for tuning in to the video. I just wanted to share, nowadays, youngins in the world, they want to be gangster, thinking that they know what it means to be a gangster, and that they have what it takes to be a man enough to handle the tough challenges that have come your way. But the reality is this: I can only speak from my own personal experience and what I think about the young men nowadays. I hate to see the young men dropping like flies, man. Like, especially in my community. I'm a Chester native from Chester, PA, and I hate to see the youngins, losing their lives to senseless nonsense, man, over basically nothing, man. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, the mindset and the brains of our young people are very different. We got technology. We got a lot of young men out there popping them pills, smoking that weed, which these pills and this weed, it feminizes the man. It's a biological change that's being made in the mind and the brain of our young men and women, and they don't realize the effects that it's having on our culture. This is why our young people are doing so much of the things that don't make sense, because our children are basically being raised on chemicals, and which is changing the genes and the structure of your mindset and your body and your brain. So we got to get back to a more alkaline diet, a more healthy way of eating, let go of the drugs, young people. And I think, personally, that when you overcome things that you done before, you have the license and the degree to talk about it. So I've been in the streets at a young age. I started hustling when I was 13, okay? And I was shot when I was 17, so I know what it's like. I've been there. When I got shot, I started realizing, the reality. I started facing reality, and I wanted to know my purpose and how I made it through that. And from where I'm from, a lot of people lost their lives quick to violence and the prison system. And for me to make it out of that, I knew my life had a purpose, that I had to discover. And when I was 17, I could barely read. But I started to read books and read the scriptures and reading the Quran and different things, studying different religions, and just searching, what my purpose was, trying to find out what my purpose was. And along my journey, I discovered who God was to me, and that's how I discovered who I am. Once you discover who God is, you learn about your own nature, because you share a divine nature with God, the Creator. We all share that divine nature. So once you discover who God is, you discover who you are. So, I just wanted to, share how I overcame the streets and how I got out the streets and stopped smoking the weed and popping the pills and drinking and, all the things that I used to do that I think don't lead down the right path, that can pretty much, I went from almost losing my life to, not caring about myself, not knowing what self-love was and how important it is to show self-love and forgiveness, and that's what makes you a better human being, operating in your higher nature. You have to learn to forgive no matter what the circumstances are. You have to learn to move on. If you had losses in your family, you got to learn to grieve for a minute and then move on. Don't wallow in the grief. You know, so these are things that I personally can speak on because I've been there. You know, so I want our young people, especially our young men, to be stronger and to overcome the streets. And peace and love.